What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the left side of the map in the green color, playing as Hades. He's got a YouTube channel himself. He does some incredible dramatic productions, and his name is Skady. He's got teammates today in the red color playing as Loki. His name is Loki Macro King, the king of the Loki Macro, because Loki Macro is really difficult. You know, you gotta build Herser, and then build more Herser, and then build more Herser, and then after you finish building all of those Herser, you build more Herser. And not only on top of that, probably should get some more Herser, and that's a really difficult thing, Loki Macro. Alright, we've also got in the blue color playing as Gaia. His name is Kimo. Their opponents today in the blue color, no, the cyan color, the teal color, playing as Thor. His name is Jambeck. Their partners today in the purple color playing as Ra. He's your resident infamous human being, also known as Norse. It's Ava Adams. And finally in the yellow color playing as Zeus. His name is Mousy Cox. Yes, he is the Zeus player. And yes, this is one of those community team games. I know you guys enjoy these from time to time. I just played a couple of them, and you know what? My wrist is sore. And if there's one thing I've learned in life is that if you ever have an injury or have any sort of pain, you should not aggravate said pain. So I'm going to take a little break here, let my wrist rest it up before I jump back into the games. Hopefully this game is relatively entertaining. The teams seem a little bit stacked here. However, apparently Loki Macro was a bit of an anchor in the last game that he participated in with these two Titans on his team here. Kimo is flexing with the Gaia yet again, though Gaia in team games is probably one of the more strong picks. Not necessarily in the coordinated team games, but in these community team games, Gaia ends up being pretty useful. And when you've got someone piloting the Gaia like Kimo, it can come out being very, very strong here. And we're actually noticing a little bit of something here from Kimo, putting villagers over onto gold first. I'm just interested in what he's going to be upgrading here. He's going for husbandry. He's putting more villagers onto gold, and he's getting this wood income. So he's obviously going for 2 town centers in the archaic age, not finding his hunt. Well, there's his hunt, but happily eating the berries here. There's no need to go to the hunt until you have hunting dogs. That's a little bit intelligent there from Kimo. Doing that. Anyways, we'll check over here. We've got Jambeck utilizing the early Dwarven Gold Mine, not creating any ox carts here. And I've heard a story about how the Dwarven Gold Mine being cast early allows you to have extra economy because you don't have to spend that little bit of time creating the ox carts for your hunt. Now, I would argue, my personal argument against the early Dwarven Gold Mine is the amount of resources you gain by casting it early does not outweigh the fact that you casting it later will net you a crazy amount more gold in walking time when you need it, and also all these other things that come into play, like I don't know, not having your dwarves out in the open, or all the other things. We've got Norz over here. He's ready to go to the next age, throwing up his temple, doing all these good things. We've got Hermes coming through for Mousy. I'm not going to say this. I'm just going to call him Mouse. For Mouse over here, we do not have Skady advancing just yet. Interesting. So he's going for a later advance here with Hades, which, generally speaking, we've noticed that as this game has evolved, advancing faster has seemed to be the better play here in order to get second talent centers, in order to put pressure on or do all these other crazy things. Advancing later doesn't seem to do much, but on these maps where you have really rubbish hunt, it tends to be the way to play, playing nice and defensive, walls going up everywhere. I like this from Skady. And we have over here Loki Macro going for the 4 seti. And we've also got Kimo not advancing just yet. Does he have his hunting dogs out? He does have hunting dogs. So he's going to be able to advance very, very quickly, chopping down those resources here. Let's check out his economy. Needs to throw down a temple. Has enough resources to do so, but he's not going to do it just yet. Still needs to get a little bit more economy. There's the temple. Surprised to see he still has villagers on wood here. Generally speaking, once you Once you get the temple, you put all your villagers over onto food. Maybe leave one on wood so you can keep building the villages. But he's maybe got some ideas for that, and he's going to be able to advance anyways at some point. There's the Freya from Jambek. Walls up already. Valkyrie going searching. There's no stopping this town center. That is an incredibly fast town center from Kimo, though. 5:15 in the completion speed of that town center. It is crazy. The only civilizations that can compete with that speed is the Egyptians there. We do see an armory up for Norse, throwing up his second town center as well. And I'm interested to see if Skady goes for 3 town centers right off the bat here. I don't think it will be a bad play at all, just simply because of the defensive nature of this map. The fact there's low hunt means that there's not going to be any crazy advance times, not going to be any crazy all-ins. It's just not very good. He needs to fix up his villages here at some point, though. He's got a lot of villages on gold, so this does indicate to me at the very least he's going for 1 town center. He's left the villages on gold here, so he's wanting this 3rd town center as well. So we'll probably see that soon. We do see the centaur coming in here, but Loki Mac are going to be attempting to thwart that here. Not needing to deal with it too badly. Not even going to have to worry about getting a Chiron out or anything like that. We'll see how that goes. Trying to get a block here from the stable. In fact, throwing the stable up, so it's not even a 3rd town center here either. He's just going 2 town centers. Playing nice and safe. I'm honestly surprised to see that Loki Macro is not going for a 2nd town center here. It's not generally the case that Loki players go for them, but it's really, really strong when all of your teammates are doing the same thing to coordinate. If teammates all go for 2nd town centers, you go for a 2nd town center. And if you get rushed, then it's fine because you just fall back into your base, you defend, and you let your opponent or your partner come and save the day with their really big economy. And there's the 2nd town center from Loki Macro. So it is all coming up Millhouse here in this game. Just a little bit late on the town center, I guess, but it's fine. He's got it up, and he's doing everything. Everyone else has got 2 town centers except for Jambek. And one thing I would have liked to see here from Jambek, this is something that a couple of Norse players have started to be doing, is they go for 2 longhouses instead of 3 here as Thor when you go for semi-fast roads, or when you go for 2 town centers, or basically anything other than pure mass raiding cavalry. So we'll see if it works out. We do see that the flaming, the forest fire hits this and does manage to pick off 1 of these automatons, but Kimo, once he can get out another automaton, or even has one, he can just send that over and repair that as long as he's there fast enough. The raiding cavalry coming around, still trying to find something, but they are getting chased down by Kimo. Got to be careful not to throw these away. This is what makes Thor so difficult. You have to make these raids here. He does manage to pick off 1 Murmilla before getting away. You have to get the raids off, but you really need to not throw away raiding cavalry. And there's the 2nd town center finally coming up for Jambek. So a little bit late on that one, unfortunately, as he's realizing he's going to get left in the dust here. And I just don't like it. Maybe going for a flaming weapons timing push onto this town center could have been an idea. Mixing in Huskal and throwing Axeman could have been a wild idea, but obviously a bit too crazy and maybe not an idea. But Norse does always go for these 2 town centers, semi-fast mythics with Ra, and hit tornadoes on a partner that's going aggressive. So going 1 town center with Norse on your team generally works the way that he plays, but we're not seeing that from North's teammates. We'll see if he comes up with something different. Maybe going for a 3rd town center here would have been a better idea. When you see everyone 2 town centers as Ra, going for the early 3rd town center is completely fine and reasonable. We do see that Skady's checking this town center out. He could drop the Patsukos and the Wadget on that one and deal with that one then. And we are seeing that Jambek getting pushed back by Kimo, who is raring to go. And here is the 3rd town center from Mousy here. This is a really, really smart against the Hades. And he's going to be in a really, really good position to go for a semi-fast mythic here, go Hephaestus, and just be in a really, really good position. Completely, like, this is really, it's just really smart from Mousy, because Skady had to react to this by walling up, have to play really defensive against potential centaur spam, and then Mousy just doesn't do it. And Skady has to be like, well, how do I catch up to this now? He's just got such a huge advantage. And I feel like this is something the Zeus players should be doing more. They should be faking center, build 2 center, then go straight 3 town centers against the defensive Greek players that's been happening here. We're still seeing these Raiders going for something. We've got Skady looking for some blood in the back. There's really not a lot here. Norse is getting this market in the back corner. Skady is going to be searching for something. He does find some cow here, but not a lot else. We have the raiding cavalry coming in. We'll see if he notices these markets here. And it's looking like it's just going to miss it there in the corner. So luckily for Norse there, these guys getting nothing. We are seeing that that Norse is able to push Loki Macro King back here with his army. He's raring to go. He's pushing forward, making barracks, ready to just steamroll through the map. He could even grab this town center here if he wants to do so. But I think maybe going Mythic Age would probably be the safer bet. And we are seeing the dwarves moving over. What is that? Where? Hello? Well, his ox cart was killed. His gold mine's finished. I hope that Skady and Kimo point out that there's red villages here. There's perfectly safe gold mine here with a single wall, or 2 walls actually. One here, and that's totally fine. We'll see where he goes with it. See if they just keep walking into the center. Oh, and he turns him back around. Good, good, good. That's going to hurt Loki Macro quite a bit though. So we'll see how this works. We'll see if Norse can push in here and do some damage. Ooh, that's not what I would have expected here from Mousy. Super greedy, grabbing 4 town centers. This is going to give Skady a really big opportunity here to get a super early Hephaestus and then push out with Colossus, push out with an Underworld or something onto the back town center. A lot of different possibilities now against the 4 town centers. Against the 3 town center semi-fast heroic, it would be totally fine. But we are seeing that that Mouse has to retreat here. And we are seeing there's the Locust here, picks up a couple of villages, or dwarves I should say, gets 4 of them as they were looking to try and move out. But now Loki Macro is actually in a really difficult situation here. He's got no gold income, he's got no gold mines, and Norse is just completely out of control here. And hopefully no ceasefire gets forced here, as Skady not able to push Mouse back either, as he just does not have the units to deal with the centaur that have been massed here from Mouse. And we do see Bragi is on the way now for Loki Macro. But he just doesn't have any resources. Potentially, Kimo may be able to just give the resources over to Loki Macro so he can spam out Hersa and then we can just get some value out of them, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Let's see the technologies here. Bragi, Rhea coming in for Kimo. An interesting try here. Ava Adams or Norse casting Shifting Sands. I'm not sure where he cast. Oh, he cast onto the back villages here. Absolutely huge. Taking down all of Loki Macro's economy here. That is absolutely disgusting as Loki Macro loses his entire gold economy to Norse, as Mouse is just completely overpowering Skady here. Kimo, on the other hand, he will be able to take down this this Thorpe of Jambak here if he can continue to push in. The problem is we've got Skady, we've got Frost Giants to deal with any sort of behemoth push here. However, we do have trade up for the Frost Giants as they come. Hopefully it's going to work out and Kimo can get some value from them. However, Norse is just everywhere right now. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for this town center or even maybe gone next stage. Apollo coming through for Mouse and Skady at roughly the same time. Skady, is he close to the next age either? He's not anywhere close to the next age. He's got no gold mines as Mouse has got complete map control here. We'll see where he goes. He's got this gold mine here with the majority of his units. If I'm Mouse, I'm trying to just move in and out with my special attacks here from the Centaur, trying to snipe units as this goes on, and that's going to be great here. We do see Jambak moving over onto this hunt, but Mouse has got this checked out. Oh, that's not. Never mind. I tell a lie. Now it doesn't care about that. There's a spider eggs coming in here as Kimo's trying to push forward. He really needs to just produce Arcus and Destroyers at this point, and we'll see how this goes. Still picking off the back of these units. There's just remnants of what was once Loki Macro's economy here. We do see him moving forward, but now we've got siege towers pushing in to Loki Macro's base, and he's got next to no villages here. Frost comes out onto this location here, and there's nothing to stop Norse pushing in. There is nothing to stop Mouse from getting Mythic Age relatively fast here. We see Skady close, but Mouse is already able to click up. He's got his market. He's going to be clicking Hephaestus here. He's going to be the first one to the Mythic Age here. We saw even Norse going Osiris here. Skady going Hephaestus. Everyone on their way, but Skady is 14% to Mousy, who is currently 22%, so a little bit of an advantage there. And Norse is already 70% Osiris here. Unfortunately for Norse, these siege towers get taken down very, very quickly to these villages. You have to be really careful with the villagers popping in and out of the town center. We do see the chariot archers targeting them down. This is going to hurt Loki Macro's economy even more. Meanwhile, we're seeing Kimo just not able to crack the teal units just yet, but this is pure throwing axemen basically, so the Archers are going to do a lot of damage here. Osiris comes through for Norse, and Ava Adams, son of Osiris, coming through back here. He's just ready to march the son of Osiris forward. Towers pushing in as Norse has got all of the advantage in the world right now. Fortress coming down over here for Skady, and we're seeing Kimo making small amounts of ground here, still trying to make these behemoths work. He does have another trader up, ready to steal those away from Jambek. He's able to push in the restoration over here, able to push Mouse back, and we have seen that Skady has grabbed this town center. So that's going to be 3 town centers to 4 town centers with the Hades army. There's the fighters from both players. Bunch of villagers on the favor trying to make out the Colossus. He does have Perseus, so the Colossus War sort of favors the Hades in the early stages here. And we do see Kimo hits Atlas here. We'll see where he wants to cast that. But Norse is currently 4 town centers, taking Loki Macro's main town center already. And he can start making his way over onto Kimo's back town center. However, Jambek has lost his 4 town center, and we are seeing Jambek coming in to defend this though. He's defending this. He's taking down the Frost Giants, but with the hero units of Kimo, he's able to prevent this for the time being. And now we'll see what can Kimo do. He has to deal with a lot of stuff here. The Implodes coming in. It's going to try and pull in the Son of Osiris, doing a fair amount of damage to it. If it does pull in, there it comes in. There's just a little bit there, about 100 hack damage there. Pulls everything back out, and that was really not the best usage of Implode I've ever seen. It actually might have been better to simply just use it over onto Mouse here. Gives Skady the advantage, who is currently making a lot of value out of this push here. We do see a Bellerophon out, and Bellerophon, very difficult unit to deal with only Toxotes. He's got such high PS armor, high base PS armor, I should say, 40% here. But Skady still trying to push in here. The Colossus is going to be retreating back, but the Bellerophon picks off, and he just dies so quickly. Where's the Perseus? No Perseus for Skady. We're seeing these units from Jambek running willy-nilly. Where is he going? Do we have any sort of Balder coming through? We do not have a Balder coming through. Jambek's Frost Giants getting frozen there, but the other one do manage to deal with Kimo's traded Frost Giant. Kimo still doesn't manage to take this one down. We see Norse taking down town centers of Kimo here, as he's really struggling to continue to fight in this game. We do see some Argus coming out, ready to start sniping mercenary cavalry, but man, Nor's economy is absolutely out of this world right now. Just crazy amounts of camel caravans. And it's looking like not only this, but Skady is getting pushed back here, as he's not able to deal with Mousy Cats. Here is the Hippocons coming through. And with the upgrades, we're seeing a small amount of advantage here for Mouse as Skady is trying to push through. He does have, he does have Forge of Olympus, so both of those players are going to probably hit iron upgrades very, very fast here. And we'll see how they go. Bunch of units in the back here. Loki, you got to get into the fight here. Loki Macro, got to get into the fight. Throwing up a hill fort's not a bad try here. Maybe getting out some walls and trying to throw some baluster into. Well, he doesn't have baluster, maybe some portable battering rams pushing in here while Kimo tries to do so as well. He gets the town center back for Jambek as well as Kimo. But now Jambek is more than happy to continue here. He's probably going to be hitting Balder very soon. And that's going to be a very difficult time for Kimo to defend against. Kimo using another trader over here, casting that one onto the mummy, and he manages to snipe the other mummy there. Really nice usage of the trader from Kimo. Mouse over here with Skady as well, pushing back and forth, but it's looking like Mouse is getting the advantage here. Lots of Heliopoli are out for Skady, but there's a lot of melee units for Mouse at this point, which is going to be huge to take down these Heliopoli. Not only that, Bellerophon can move in, jump in, deal so much damage with the 30 hack damage a second there, move out, run in, jump in, move out, do all those things every 15 seconds or so, and just completely shut down the Heliopoli. The Heliopoli are generally really strong, but it's looking like this army composition from Mouse may be able to deal with them decently enough, especially because of all those hoplites. But the Toxotes in the back are going to be able to hide behind those Heliopoli and do a lot. But Jambak, he hits the Mythic Age through Balder here. Meanwhile, we're seeing Fire Siphons push into this location as Loki Macro is just not able to keep being relevant. He has the portable battering rams coming in. We've got Mercenary Cavalry and Mercenary coming in. Loki Macro has cast his flaming weapons. That's going to put the portable battering rams up to 40 damage a second, and he's going to be able to take down the Talent Center. A small win for Team Kimo, Skady, and Loki Macro here as they manage to push Norse back. However, the more impending threat is going to be Jambek coming through with the Ragnarok if he ever decides to click it. But he doesn't even need to at this point. He's taking down Kimo's town center, trading this back town center for a forward town center. Not a bad effort at all, as it's just about to fall. And I want to say there it goes, but it's staying alive somehow with next to no HP, and there it goes. We've got the champion throwing axeman coming in through for Jambek. Skady and Mouse just not able to find anything here, and Kimo taps out there as he decides this game is not winnable. Skady taps out, and Loki will follow there in the end as the team Mouse, Norse, and Jambek able to just take this game here. Just GG. Well played by Norse. What an absolute impeccable victory there from Norse. Just able to push through, take everything out there, and just so very, very strong here from North. And also Mouse, really strong strategy here, showing that you don't have to all in on the center. You can go for those early 3 town centers. Just GG, well played, and just showing that these team games are not all, it's not all about the stacked 1v1 players. Sometimes it's just not enough. But GG, well played. If you enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.